I was trying. The Lord not preparing nothing. I don't wanted to prepare something to say to you. Why? Because I am searching for my inner truth. I want to know what I will say. In 2 more days, I will have 86 years. It's a lot. Why at 86 years I am fighting in order to make a picture? Why? Must be important for me. It's so important to make a picture for a person who can die from one day to the other. Because when you have 86 years, every morning you awake and you say, I am still alive. You're happy to be alive, but you are maybe in the end of something. Why to make a picture? What is a picture? Well, some pictures are only fun, show. It's necessary because in the world we are all nervous with everything which happened, no? Even they say we are destroying the planet. And then we need to go to see a picture to forget ourselves. Relax. This is necessary. But for me, picture is not that. For me, picture is to remember yourself, not to forget yourself. What is to remember yourself? What we can remember? For me, movies are really an art. And the art, what it is the search of your inner beauty. That is art. I don't want to make a picture in order to make money. But if the money comes, I open the pocket in order to have more pictures. But it's not that the finality. It's not that the finality to be admired for the others. It's not the finality to lie, to invite sin. You never live it. In order to say something, you need to know about what you are speaking. Need to be an experience you are showing. But what I will show in this picture, the human being, art, museums, movie theaters are showing to us. We are that anti-heroes. We are this person who have no dignity, slaves. We are slaves. We are liars. We are thieves. What we are now? I don't want to show that kind of person. I don't want to make picture of every person is fighting against to have money, to steal money. Why? Lose money. I don't want also to speak about love, this love who is not real, no, who is a fairy tale. Love is something great, incredible, sublime. I don't know how you say in English sublime. The most beautiful thing. Marpa was a saint in Tibet. and he said, life, everything is an illusion. One day his son died, young son died, and he was crying and crying and crying. And the disciples say to Martha, why you are crying? Our son is an illusion. Yes, my son is an illusion, but it's the most beautiful illusion. Movies are an illusion, but need to be the most beautiful illusion. I know what is to scream because one of your sons died. It's terrible. It's terrible. And in that moment, you ask it to yourself, why I am doing art, movies? Why? And then you say, I am making movies, art, in order to heal my soul. I need to open myself in order to find myself, to remember what a human being is, the beautifulness of a human being, the beautifulness of you. I need to show how beautiful is the human being now. In Chile, in the 40s, I have 24 years. It was a fantastic moment. The war was in all the planet, and in Chile, no war, because we are far separate, no television, separate of the world, mountains, ocean, peace. Was a peace, was beautiful. And if a miracle happened, poetry came to the country. Great poets start to write marvelous poems. Two of them have the Nobel Prize, Pablo Neruda and Gabriela Mistral, our father and our mother. And then everything was poetry, words. And we was having our adolescence in this situation, poetry everywhere. And we start to search what was the poetical act, how was to live with beautifulness, how was to live in the mind free, in the heart in union with the world, in the sex in full creativity, make a poetical action in order to discover the beautifulness of life. There was the time. There, the poesy was there. There, the human being was there. We have love. We have artists. We discover all kind of art. And that suddenly disappeared. And my son, at 24 years, I went out of this paradise to Europe, where the world illusion was this illusion we all know. But now I want to show myself what is a spiritual paradise with young person searching the beautifulness of poetry. That is all I want. I want to express that you say in English, how I am obliged to this past, because I knew how it was to live in poetry. I knew that. I want to show all the world that is possible. It's possible. It's possible to remember yourself. It's possible to open your mind. It's possible to open your heart. It's possible to open your creativity. To live with less, but to live well. Well, that is what I want. Poetry without end. Endless poetry. That's what I will do.